All right, I want you to picture this for just a second. You are standing dead center in the middle of a vast golden desert. The hot wind is whipping across the dunes, and right there, rising straight up from the sands in front of you, is an impossibly massive structure. We are talking about a monument constructed over 4.5 millennia ago. Think about that. Countless empires have risen and crumbled to dust. Legendary kings and queens have been totally forgotten by time, and yet this colossal mountain of stone still stands tall, the Egyptian pyramids. It completely sets the stage for what I honestly think is one of the most incredible stories in all of human history.
Welcome to SH English Documentary.
Seriously, when you stand before a structure that was built 4,500 years ago, it genuinely rewires how you think about our ancestors. We're talking about a civilization that existed so incredibly long ago that their world feels almost, well, unimaginably distant to us. And yet, there it is. A structure standing totally defiant against the sands of time, outlasting pretty much every other remnant of the ancient world.
Okay, let's dive into this, because this brings us to the ultimate, inescapable question, the real elephant in the room. How exactly did they lift these stones? I mean, really think about it. The ancient Egyptians didn't have modern cranes, right? They had no hydraulic lifts, no steel cables, absolutely zero internal combustion engines. And yet, millions of incredibly heavy stone blocks were placed with a level of precision that literally still baffles modern structural engineers today. It's the core engineering mystery that has absolutely captivated the world for centuries.
But to actually understand how they did it, we have to zoom out and look at the historical timeline. Because the iconic smooth-sided pyramids we know today, they weren't just an overnight success or some sudden stroke of architectural luck. No, they were the result of generations of rigorous evolution. It all started way back around 2670 BC with this famous architect named Imhotep. He designed the step pyramid in Saqqara for Pharaoh Djoser, which was basically one of Egypt's first massive stone monuments. Over the next century, through a ton of trial, error, and immense structural testing, they refined their methods. And they kept refining them until they achieved that perfect, smooth-sided triangular shape we see with Khufu's Great Pyramid around 2570 BC.
And when we talk about Khufu's Great Pyramid, we really need to emphasize the sheer mind-bending ambition of this specific project. Get this, for 3,800 years, the Great Pyramid stood as the tallest human-made structure on the entire planet. Originally reaching a towering 146.6 meters into the sky, it dwarfed literally everything else on Earth. The castles of the Middle Ages, the massive monuments of the Roman Empire, none of them, absolutely none of them, even came close to surpassing this ancient Egyptian marvel until modern history.
And it wasn't just tall, right? It was incredibly dense. The Great Pyramid is composed of over 2.3 million individual stone blocks. Actually, say that out loud, 2.3 million. Let that staggering statistic sink in for a minute. Some of these blocks weigh several tons each. The logistics required to quarry, move, and perfectly position that many massive stones is almost incomprehensible to us. It's exactly this overwhelming scale that has historically caused people's imaginations to run completely wild, deepening the mystery of how it was all put together.
Because the task seems so impossible, it's led to, well, the most popular modern myth of all time. You've probably heard it or seen it on some late-night TV special where the pyramids built by aliens. Or, if not extraterrestrials, were they built by massive armies of brutalized slaves? It seems like whenever a human achievement is just too extraordinary, there's always this rush to credit something else, anything else, other than human ingenuity.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how modern archaeology completely shatters those myths. Back in 1990, archaeologists made this groundbreaking discovery at Giza. They found the actual tombs of the pyramid workers, and the evidence inside those tombs was crystal clear. These skeletons didn't belong to slaves, and they definitely weren't aliens. They were highly respected, highly skilled human workers. They were given proper, honored burials right next to the massive monument they built. Plus, their remains showed they were well-fed and deeply valued by their society. This was a massive, highly organized national workforce.
But if they were human workers, how did they actually pull off the logistics? Well, we actually have the receipts for that, quite literally. In 2013, at a site called Wadi al-Jarf, archaeologists uncovered an absolute historical bombshell, the oldest known papyri from Khufu's reign. And this wasn't just any document, it was a logbook. Written by an overseer named Merer, it basically detailed the daily operations of his crew during the construction of the Great Pyramid. It's an incredible window into the past.
Merer's logbook breaks down the actual logistics that made this whole crazy thing possible. Step 1. Quarry the massive limestone blocks. Step 2, and this is absolutely crucial, transport them using the Nile River. The Egyptians were master boat builders, and the Nile was essentially their superhighway, allowing them to move these enormous weights over long distances pretty effortlessly. And finally, step 3, lift the stones into place. Now, while the exact specific configuration of the ramps, whether they were straight, zigzag, or spiral, is still fiercely debated by experts today, Meares papyrus definitively proves the organized, water-based supply chain that fueled the construction.
All right, let's head inside, because the mystery certainly doesn't stop at the exterior. The Great Pyramid isn't just some solid pile of rocks. It actually houses a highly complex system of internal chambers and passageways. And inside, we find things like the 1872 Dixon relics. So, an engineer named Wayman Dixon was exploring the Queen's chamber when he discovered hidden relics tucked away inside totally dark, incredibly narrow shafts. It proved that this massive structure was meticulously designed with these hidden, hard-to-reach pockets that just remained totally untouched for millennia.
Speaking of the interior, the dark, imposing nature of the pyramid's chambers has given rise to countless legends over the years. One of the most famous ones is that the great conqueror Napoleon Bonaparte spent a night entirely alone inside the Great Pyramid, only to emerge pale and utterly terrified, refusing to ever speak of what he saw. Look, it's a fantastic story, but we have to separate truth from legend here in this documentary. The fact is, there is absolutely zero historical proof that Napoleon was terrified by some supernatural force inside. It's a myth, pure and simple, but it brilliantly shows how powerfully this monument plays on the human psyche.
So if there are no ancient curses or alien secrets, what were they really for? Well, yes, they were grand royal tombs meant to house the pharaoh's mummified remains, sure, but their exceptionally complex designs indicate they were so much more than that. They were ultimate symbols of earthly power and intricate reflections of cosmic order. The ancient Egyptians firmly believed their pharaohs would ascend to the stars and achieve divinity. So the pyramid wasn't just a grave, it was carefully aligned with astronomical precision, tying deeply into their profound religious beliefs about the cosmos.
And their design is precisely why they've survived when pretty much everything else has crumbled. First off, you have a massive, wide base that perfectly anchors the structure. Second, there's a cleverly stepped core that effectively distributes those millions of tons of weight, so the whole thing doesn't just collapse in on itself. And third, you have to factor in the extraordinarily dry desert climate of Egypt, which acts as a natural preservative. When you put all that together, it is a masterclass in brilliant, resilient engineering.
But here's the thing, the pyramids we see today are essentially just the stripped-down skeletons of what they used to be. I really want you to visualize this. Originally, these structures didn't look like rough, sandy steps. Not at all. They were entirely encased in highly polished, brilliant white limestone. They were so smooth and reflective that they literally shone in the blinding desert sun, glowing on the horizon like a beacon. Tragically, over the centuries, especially during the Middle Ages, that beautiful outer casing was stripped away and actually reused to build parts of the city of Cairo.
Let's move to and see how this builds upon what we know today, because our understanding of the pyramids didn't just stop in the 1800s. In 2017, scientists brought a massive, high-tech twist to this ancient mystery with the Scan Pyramids project. They utilized something called muon tomography. Basically, without getting too bogged down in the science, they used cosmic particles raining down from space to scan and literally see inside the solid, impenetrable stones of the Great Pyramid without moving a single block. Mind-blowing, right?
And what they found was absolutely jaw-dropping. The scans revealed the existence of a massive, previously unknown space hidden deep inside the Great Pyramid, which scientists now simply call the Big Void. I mean, just think about that for a second. After 4,500 years of exploration, intense looting, and exhaustive study, this colossal marvel is still actively hiding massive secrets from us today. We don't exactly know what's inside the void yet, but it completely changes the game.
Ultimately, when you strip away all the myths of aliens, magic, and curses, what you are left with is something far more profound. The Great Pyramid is the ultimate monument to human ambition. The greatest solved mystery here is the sheer, undeniable capability of human beings. Our ancient ancestors were not primitive in the slightest. They were extraordinary visionaries, masterful mathematicians, and brilliant organizers who somehow achieved the impossible through sheer collective willpower.
Which kind of leaves us looking out over the sands of Giza today with a lingering sense of awe. As we peer into newly discovered voids and finally translate ancient logbooks, we have to ask ourselves, have we truly understood the past? Or is the Great Pyramid, in all its silent, imposing majesty, still holding on to a master secret, just waiting for the right generation to finally uncover it?
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like.
And if you'd like to stay connected with us and be the first to watch our latest videos, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell.